step up to the plate after he had some thoughts about maybe not doing this. Our next speaker, Adam Goldman. His title of his speech is Rodeo. Rodeo.
How y'all doing today?
We'd be fine.
How many, by a show of hands, how many people have heard of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo? Okay, almost everyone, a bunch of people. By a show of hands, how many people have been to the rodeo before? Almost everyone. Almost everyone. And by a show of hands, how many people were at the ZZ Top concert on Sunday night? I guess no one. Well, you weren't at the ZZ Top concert, I'm sorry, but I am ZZ Top, as you can see from my 5 o'clock shout-out that showed up at 7:30 in the morning. I apologize. It's just the way it works sometimes with the shadow that I have. I want to talk today about the rodeo. And it's something that is new to me. I'm originally from the Northeast. I try not to advertise that very often because being a Yankee is the best possible thing. I want to talk a little bit about the rodeo, number one. Second, I want to talk about things in the rodeo involving committees at the rodeo. And I also want to talk about some of the cultural shocks that someone from the Northeast has at the rodeo. So to start, the rodeo, I don't know if you know this, it's the 3rd largest event in the country, or largest fair in the United States. There are over 2 million people that go to the rodeo. And I'll tell you what, that is a whole heck of a lot of giant-sized turkey legs. And we're talking, by my calculations, that's at least 3.14 trillion fried Oreos that are consumed throughout the course of the rodeo. You've got a situation also where it's at those of you that have been there, the rodeo is located at the Astrodome. And you also have a situation where they're able to raise over $7 million in scholarships for people throughout the state of Texas that are going to school. Now, how do they raise so much money for scholarships, you might ask? This is a charity. And the reason why they're able to do that is there are over 21,000 volunteers at the rodeo on different committees, ranging from anything from Directions and Assistance Committee to something called the Gatekeepers Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Goldman from New Jersey was a gatekeeper this year. So what I had to do is I had to go to Cavender's, and I had to buy my black hat, got my black cowboy boots, and much to my sister-in-law's chagrin, she thought that being a gatekeeper actually meant guarding the entrance to the bulls, the possibility of getting gored. She was excited to see me do that. I don't know why, but unfortunately, the gatekeepers is not as glamorous as that. It involves standing out without your long johns in sub-0 degree weather to have a scanner and to scan people as they enter the entrance to the rodeo. I really enjoyed my time this year. I really had a great camaraderie with some of my people that I was doing this wonderful event with as a gatekeeper. One of the ways that we dealt with our sometimes boredom is we came up with different fun things to do whenever we got a little bit tired of what we were doing. So, for instance, we ended up scanning people's foreheads sometimes opposed to the ticket. Another thing that we did when people came in is we said, hey, welcome to the Barry Manilow concert. that helped us with the boredom a little bit. And I'll tell you what, as a Yankee that's not trying to really promote the fact of being a Yankee, really a big culture shock, the rodeo. One of the biggest challenges was getting used to some of these events. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's something called mutton busting, where parents literally put a 4 to a 6-year-old kid on top of a lamb that comes out of the gate. And I saw 4 to 6-year-olds getting trampled at the rodeo. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. I'll tell you what. I was standing up front at the gate, and I asked, where's the closest restroom? And someone said, over yonder. I'm like, where's Yonder? I feel sorry for vegetarians or vegans at the rodeos. Trying to find what's considered quote-unquote healthy at the rodeo, that's left to interpretation. And to try and find anything halfway healthy or nothing, or anything like that. I mean, someone had this giant-sized crawfish bowl, and they said it's the healthy alternative. The spinach and burrito stand was the best place to find anything remotely healthy at all. So in summary, I hope for those of you that haven't been to the rodeo, I encourage all of you to go. And for those of you interested in getting involved in a really interesting activity, I also would encourage you to think about being a committeeman sometime in the future at the rodeo. And for those of you that aren't native Texans, well, it'll definitely be a cultural experience.